All right, now we're live. Hopefully that's better. Let me check, make sure it's working. All right, now we're live. Okay, there's my delay there. All right, high noon, straight out of Westwood movie. Yeah, there you go, my man. There you go. Got a little sun coming through the leaves, coming at me. Shout out to Paulie P. Big thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right, hit that thumbs up. Awesome. Shout out to Paulie P. I was looking through the news, and what I should do, since everybody else does this and gets thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, is just recite Zero Hedge articles. I'll just go through and read it, keep everybody up to date. Not necessarily all I'm going to do, but it is a thought, isn't it? I should have put this on Do Not Disturb. All right, so Paulie P, this one goes out to you. You posted it earlier. Some other people posted it. You verified it. I'm going to go ahead and just give you the headline. Teamsters notified that trucking giant Yellow ceases operations on Sunday, this past Sunday. And it looks like you've got 22,000 people who are going to be out of work. Yeah, the bankruptcy of Yellow Trucking Company leaves 30,000 Yellow employees, including 22,000 Teamsters, without jobs. Holy cow. JB, what's up, man? What does that mean? Does that mean they can't, I mean, they're not able to, they don't have enough business? I mean, they can't make it go? I mean, what's going on here with the transportation system? What is happening with the just-in-time delivery system? This is crazy. Old Yeller, gone. Put a bullet in Old Yeller. Knocked it down. Put him to sleep. Not good. They've been around for multiple decades, Paulie P says. I mean, Paulie's a trucker. You know, he's on top of this stuff. That's a big deal. 30,000 people. And then we just saw last week, you know, Bud Light, not so many of the after effects of the Bud Light fiasco, marketing disaster. Laid off, I don't know, 2% of their workforce, something like that. And then I talked about the overflow, pun intended, effects of that, you know, the bottlers and everybody down chain, you know, that contributes to that whole process, you know, bottling all this stuff, people losing jobs, small companies going out of business. We see that a lot around here. Caterpillar was formed here in Peoria, Illinois, and a lot of small companies, machine shops, and, you know, all around the area feed into that structure to help build those big Yellow tractors. And when there's a slowdown at that corporate level, you see the ripple effects throughout the entire economy. Not a good thing. Doesn't bode well for Bidenomics. And I don't want to get caught up in that, because every president has his, you know, every corporate executive, I guess you could say, has his issues, because he's working within a structure that it's kind of messed up. You know, the monetary system's messed up. But not good, man. 22,000 Teamsters, you know, union people, pretty good jobs, gone. You know, and then 8,000 others within that Yellow trucking company. And you've seen it before. I mean, I'm looking at the symbol right now on the side of the truck. I mean, if you've gone down the road, you've seen it. It's a bad deal. Absolutely a bad deal. So there's that. More jobs being lost. You know, interest rates being hiked last week because, oh, the economy's too hot. You know, it's running too hot. Obviously not too hot for Yellow. Maybe it's a canary in the coal mine. You know, yellow canary. Don't know. The Devin Archer thing over the weekend, kind of a big deal. You know, former business partner of the Bidens, and was going to testify in front of Congress today, yet I think he is testifying in front of Congress, maybe doing it right now, may have already done it, not sure. But the Department of Injustice on Saturday said that, now we're going to indict, we can't have him going in front of Congress. And so Matt Gaetz, a congressman out of Florida, said basically it's obstruction of justice. I mean, we want to, they did the same thing with Sam Bankman-Fried, you know, the SBF thing. He was supposed to go in front of Congress and testify, and then all of a sudden, no, hold up. Can't have him doing that. We're going to charge him with something. And so, and now charges get dropped. See how that works? It's, hey, well, we can't have this guy opening the can of worms that we're all involved in, so let's keep him away from Congress. You know, the direct representation of the people, you know, that come out of your state, that go to the District of Corruption and supposedly are supposed to represent us. Well, they get up there and they're like, hey, let's interview these people. Let's ask some questions. You know, what's happening? And then you've got these governmental agencies coming in and, well, plopping them out of there saying, no, you can't testify in front of Congress. We can't have the people asking questions. No, that's a terrible thing. Very bad. But I think Devin Archer actually is testifying. I saw a clip on the news this morning where he was kind of smiling before he went in. So I think he is testifying, which is kind of a big deal because he may blow the whistle on a lot of the bad activities that have been occurring. Meanwhile, we're worried about documents, you know, indicting over that. Well, real crimes are being committed. And notice Ukraine kind of disappearing. Don't hear a lot about it anymore. Don't hear a lot of the money supposed to be going to Ukraine. You know, the $100+ billion that went to Ukraine. Well, now it's going to Taiwan. The Chinese are going to invade. We need to bolster Taiwan up. Makes you wonder what's going on in these places that there's all this money. You know, is it a cleanup job? Is it a cover-up thing? Is it a payoff? What is it? What's really happening? And what was there? Did they have certain biological things going on in these two countries? I don't know. Maybe. I guess that remains to be seen. Let's get them in front of Congress. Penske, a couple of, okay. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I guess I'll keep up here in a little bit. But back to Zero Hedge. We're going to go back. There's a throwback to, there's one for you, Daddy-O. We'll go through some of this stuff on Zero Hedge, what's really going on. We had a statement from Brian Armstrong in an interview. Now, this has happened over the course of the last year, but he came out, he's the CEO of Coinbase, a public company. The SEC knew what they were going to do. They're going to trade all these things, all these cryptocurrencies. Said, yep, go ahead and list on the stock exchange. Cool. So they list on the stock exchange, and then the SEC comes along and says, you know what? You need to delist, according to Brian Armstrong, you need to delist everything but Bitcoin. Everything's a security besides Bitcoin. Completely ridiculous, because if you look at the pre-mine that went on in Bitcoin, now, I don't know. Some people say there's a pre-mine with the Satoshi wallet. There was a lot of mining that went on, and like 1 million or so Bitcoin ended up in these wallets that aren't really accounted for at this point. We don't know who holds them. I guess supposedly it's Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that is. That might be problematic. I don't know, because that's a lot of what the argument is. Well, it's pre-mined, you know, it's sold, and a lot of things. But the bad reaction that I've been seeing is you've got a lot of people in that community who say, good, it should only be Bitcoin. That's the only thing it should be. Now, I don't care what coin it is. If it were Litecoin, I'm a big Litecoin fan, you all know that. If it were Litecoin, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't be sitting here saying it's Litecoin only. You know what? You're all screwed. That's just the way it is. You know, Litecoin's the best. It's sound money for the digital age. It accomplishes everything. We don't need anything else. Listen, the more economic weapons we have on the battlefield that we can holster up, that we can pick up and take with us and fight this economic war against these vampire tyrants, the better. So I'm all for as many cryptocurrencies that are out there as possible. And yeah, there are scams out there. There's scams in everything in life. There's scam beers. You know, there's scam, you know, anything's a scam. Everything's a scam. Government's a scam. I mean, so wouldn't it be better to have more of a choice? Who wants, okay, if Bud Light were the only beer, and that's the official beer of the United States, and that's the only thing you can drink, are you gonna be happy about that? I'm not gonna be happy about that. So if it's just one cryptocurrency, and this is the only one that's anointed, this is the only one, I've got a problem with that. You know, this is something that people just go and create, and it's up to us. Okay, let's use the example, it's up to us to decide. Let's use the example of art. All right, everybody's an artist. I can paint a picture. My daughter can paint a picture. A lot of people in an art studio can paint a picture. Does it make it worth anything? No. There could be some sentimental value. But what makes it worth something to everybody else? Well, we say, oh, we like that. We all resonate with that. We all want to give it power. We all want to use our energy. And, you know, I think it's worth this. You take it to an auction. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. And you're willing to put your energy, your money, whatever it is, your wealth, into buying this piece of art. Now, you can put a piece of my art up there, and it's not going to get any bids because I'm not that great of a painter, artist, you know, drawer, so to speak. Does that Is that a problem that I do that though? I mean, or is it up to the community, up to the people to decide whether or not they like it and want to hang it on their wall? Same thing. It's like, why is it that, well, we're only dealing with Van Goghs? You know, well, I like Banksy's. Nope, he's not authorized. You know, he's you know, not a true artist. He's a shit artist. It's a shit coin. All right, I usually don't drop those kind of language in my videos. But what's to say that something has value over something else? And yeah, you can get into the argument, well, we're protecting the public. The government's protecting the people from all of these crap coins that are out there. Well, they weren't there when FTX collapsed. They weren't there for BlockFi. They weren't there for Celsius. They weren't there for all these other platforms where they're actually stealing your wealth and saying that you're going to get these cryptos, and they didn't hold the cryptos. Where were they then? Oh, they were meeting with them. That's right. They were actually having meetings with them. And then in the case of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, who's now free to go, they did nothing to stop it, did nothing to prevent the corruption. Actually, maybe engaged in it. I don't know. Speculation here. So what is to say that a piece of art by an artist is the only sanctioned piece of art just because it's the sanctioned artist? I mean, give me a break. What kind of country are we living in here? It's about choice. We all have the choice. And for a situation like this to where it's, I mean, only one. Who wants to live in a world where there's only one? Only one type of person. Only one personality. How boring. Give me a break. I think everybody gets it. I don't want to preach to the choir, but I mean, that's the absurdity of it. And for people to come out and say, good, it should be only Bitcoin. It should be only Bud Light. It should be only whatever, Ford, pick it. It should only be yellow trucking. Oh, wait, that didn't go so well. Okay, now it's this one. You got to have freedom of choice. What happens if you got one trucking company that goes out of business? Then what? Well, it's a good thing there's other companies out there. You get the point. All right, moving on. We've got beerflation. Oh yeah, it was interesting to see that RFK was not allowed, Robert Francis Kennedy, was not allowed Secret Service protection from the Biden administration. That falls under one agency, and I can't remember which agency it is, but they're saying, well, we can't really give it to him because, you know, he's got to have so many votes, he's got to do so well, and this and that, and then, you know, we'll give him protection, Secret Service protection. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a guy whose dad was shot to death, you know, when he was running for president, and had an uncle who was president and got shot. If anybody needs some protection, it's probably this guy. But, you know, when you're running against the incumbent who doesn't want you to win, I guess that's what happens. But yeah, denied Secret Service protection. Kind of crazy if you ask me. All right, jump back to, I mean, it's the same old stuff on Zero Hedge. I mean, I can zoom in on any of this stuff, and oh my gosh, men are making less money than women since 1979. Rand Paul files criminal referral against absolute liar, in quotes, Fauci. I mean, all this stuff's starting to come out, I think. It's right in your face, and it's kind of important to pay attention. Feels like something's changing. Not sure what, but it does feel like something's changing to where hopefully some of this comes out and people, again, you can make decisions for yourself. If you just let it go and you say, no big deal. Nothing to worry about here. Nothing to see here. This is the new normal. This is the way it needs to be. We're not going to worry about this. There's no justice. If there's no justice for the people at the top, then there's no justice for you. This is really what it comes down to. We need to have justice equally distributed. Hopefully that happens. Don't forget that I put a link in the description below. Don't forget that you've got, we did the 4th episode of Hash It Out last week with on Blind Dave's channel. Blind Dave, I'm going to start posting them on my channel because the happy hours that we do, they're on my channel. It's just, it gets more, you know, view and, you know, gets it out there. So I'll start posting those Let's Hash It Out episodes on my channel. Dave suggested that, and I think that's a good idea. We need to kind of have some cross reference, some just putting it out there on different people's channels so that we can get information out there. And that's the key going forward. It's the information. All the information's out there. Just got to go looking for it. So we make it a little bit easier to look for it. Yeah, justice, just us. That's the justice, just us. Not for you. It's hard justice, just us. Good one, Varand. Thanks for posting all those coin pictures, man. They're pretty cool. I'm into looking at, you know, I like those different types of coins from different countries. They're really unique, and they are works of art. I mean, these silver coins that you find out there, pretty good stuff. It's an addictive hobby. Once you kind of get into it, you can, I don't know, holding that silver, you know, and especially seeing the different artwork from different countries, it's a pretty cool thing to have. And you realize, hey, this does feel like sound money, because it makes a sound when you drop it. Ting! You know, that resonance. But it is sound money. It holds its value. It is something that that you just can't create out of nothing. At least not yet. Don't have, you know, as Bix Weir says, replicators. Speaking of Bix Weir, we had a bank over the weekend. I don't even know which one it was. You know, it just happened. Went under. The FDIC bailed them out. I mean, what are they bailing them out with? The FDIC fund has nowhere near the money to do this. And you put your money in the bank and all those deposits, there's no way, if you've got, you know, a big bank that goes under, what happens? Well, we're going to have a big bailout. Congress is going to have to come in and put you on the hook for more enslavement dollars, to where, or Federal Reserve notes, to where you've got to bail out this big bank. Okay, well, if like Enron, they engaged in, if you remember Enron in the early 2000s, if they engaged in bad behavior and they made bad choices, then why should we bail them out? Shouldn't we just let them fall, and then another bank that's more responsible comes in and says, well, I'll just scoop up the pieces for pennies on the dollar? Isn't that how capitalism's supposed to work? Yes, it is. But we don't live in capitalism. We live in fascism, cronyism, whatever you want to call it, whatever ism you want to give it. That's the kind of system that we're in right now. We are dealing with a, I don't know, a structure that picks winners and losers. You know, a corporate structure, if you will. Now, a bank, fail, a big bank, it's too big to fail. What do you mean it's too big to fail? It's gonna let it fail. That's how things work. Just like this yellow company, this yellow trucking company, what's gonna happen to their assets? If they file bankruptcy, they're gonna get redistributed. Somebody's gonna come in and they're gonna say, okay, for whatever reason you guys couldn't run it correctly, I don't know, couldn't balance the books, whatever it is, you know, I don't know, doesn't matter. There are real assets there that they gotta go somewhere. Somebody's gonna buy them. And for the right price, somebody's going to come along and buy it. They may look at the business now and say, that business is just not put together really well. You're kind of bleeding out money. I'm just speculating on the cause here, just using it as an example. And, you know, you're just not making the deliveries you need to. You got half full trucks. I don't know. Doing something wrong. So you can bail them out and just cover up the abuses and paper it over, or you can let it fail. And then you come in as another company and say, hey, you know what? I'm doing well. I'm making money. I'm going to come in and I'm going to scoop up these assets, or at least part of these assets, and I'm going to apply them to my own fleet. Hey, you guys need work? Boom, come over here. We need work. We've got to fill some truck spots, drivers. That's how it's supposed to work. You know, if you do something wrong and you break something, does the government come in and say, oh man, you screwed up. You're fixing your car and you made a mistake and blew up the engine. Government should bail me out. Not really. Now you got a piece of junk car with some parts that you might be able to sell to somebody, and you're just going to have to take the hit. And that's how it works, or it's supposed to work. But it doesn't work that way. We're so used to the government coming to save the day. And then you get a lot of consequences that go with it. But that's just how it is, I guess. All right, checking the chat real quick. If I know what I'm doing. Obviously, I don't. Oh, Daddy-O's in the house. We got the Rand. We saw the Rand popping in here. Oh, yeah. Pee Wee Herman died. Too much tequila. I don't know. What happened there? I saw that. Paul Rubens is his name. Yeah, he had some controversy in his life, but Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, man. Pretty funny. You know, a lot of references there. The Alamo in the basement. Always a fraud. Always a scam somewhere. So yeah, it sounds like he passed away, Pee Wee Herman. Throwing that out there. The most reliable news source out there. Pauly P says zero hedge. Yep, yep, yep. Drip, drip, drip. Absolutely, Daddy-O. A lot of things are dripping out right now. Yeah. You stub your toe, and is that your fault? No, it's something else's fault. It's that ground, you know, that had a hole in it. You know, the government needs to fill that hole and bail me out. Watch where you're going, I guess. Road to hell is paved with unfixed stubbed toes. Sorry. All right, back to the zero hedge. Check the chat. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. I don't have a lot to say today. I mean, I just wanted to come on here and kind of spout out a little bit of news, kind of keep you updated on some of the videos that I've been doing. You know, call some attention to the hash it out thing on Thursdays from, right now it's 5 to 7. That may change. 5 to 7 o'clock Central Time. Steak, one of the guys there, he's in Europe. And man, it's late for him. I think it starts at midnight for him, and he's got to work the next day. So we may push that time slot ahead a little bit or back, depending upon how you look at it. Just to see what happens. I'll keep you informed on that. But as I said, should have it on this channel soon. I'll start uploading those videos, and then you can watch the replay. You know, watch it on Dave's channel. But you know, if you're on my channel and want to check it out, it'll be here. It's just a wider audience, you know, not that there's a lot, but you know, that I offer, you know, as far as audience, but all of you out there, I appreciate it. And you know what? It's the people who want to hear, it's the people who are coming for knowledge that I'm most concerned with. I'm not concerned with going out there and saying, oh my God, Litecoin, you know, we need to pump it, you know, and this is it, this is the, you know, we got to do it right now, go out and buy, you know. I think you should. But that's just, you know, their opinion. Or what's the newest coin I'm going to pump today? And, you know, they're going to drop me how many coins just to pump it. No, that's not my game. It's never been my game. I only talk about the things that I like, the things that I believe in, and I don't get paid to do it. And I'm okay with that. The universe will provide. And that's just the way I look at it. I either believe in something or I don't believe in it. And if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to talk about it, and I'm not going to talk about, oh, what the fundamentals are and how great it is. No, I'll talk about it just because it is what I do like. So that's why I talk about Litecoin. That's why I talk about DigiByte. Litecoin primarily is what it is. And you know what? No, not going there. Not going to do it. So just scrolling through Zero Hedge a little bit. Let's check out a few more things. Yeah, you know, soft landing, all this stuff. Everything's going to be fine. No worries. Yet we see things going bankrupt. The world just can't kick coal. Despite the decline in the U.S., global coal consumption, especially in Asia and China, which consumes 55% of the world's coal, continues to rise due to the relative cheapness and abundance of coal and rapid industrialization. Okay. Some of these products, you know, coal, oil, all this dense energy that produces a lot of things, we can sit here in the United States and say, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of it. You know, we can't use it. It's terrible. We need windmills over there that don't blow. We need solar panels that get dust and have to be cleaned, you know, and hail damaged. We need to use these things. They're better for the environment. Well, what's the production cost and what do you need to do to create these things? Let's look at the big picture and how do you dispose of them? But the rest of the world's moving on. The rest of the world's going to use it. And you can do whatever you want to try and, you know, dissuade the rest of the world from using it, but they're industrializing. Uh-oh, we got some noise coming. We got Dad on a tractor rolling on up here. Oh, maybe not. You probably saw the camera and said, nope, I'll go over here. So, the rest of the diesel tractor actually can do work. But you've got the rest of the world is they need the resources. They need the energy. And to ramp up and industrialize and to create a modern society, you need those things first. There's no way that wind and solar are going to allow those economies to ramp up. And so you're seeing the market take hold. You're seeing the market say, hey, we need more coal. Hey, we're going to use this oil. I don't care what the United States does. Do whatever you want, you know, propel yourself into oblivion and try and scale down into this postmodernism. That's fine, but we're going to keep going forward. And they're going to use those things. They're going to use the coal. And that's exactly what's happening. You're seeing that in Asia. They need to grow, and they are going to use those things that can help them to grow the most. All right. I'll tell you, nothing else is important. I mean, it really isn't. It's all just fluff. And it comes down to this. It comes down to, what are you going to give your power to? What are you going to give your energy to? You know, there's all kinds of pieces of art out there. There's all kinds of things that, you know, go to a garage sale or go to an estate sale, Litecoin, Lisa, and you're going to see all kinds of different pieces of art. Now, a lot of them are just, you know, nothing popular, nothing big. And what makes one valuable over the other? It's us. And so you've got all these choices. Think crypto. You get 10,000 cryptos, 20,000 cryptos. What makes them valuable? Us. We decide. So I don't disparage someone for deciding what they find value in. If a big enough group finds value in it, the Amish find value in horses and buggies. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's like, okay, cool. Drive the horse and buggy. You know, other places, you know, in cities, you know, they have other, you know, fancy areas of the United States might like fancy cars. You might like Mercedes Benzes and, you know, BMWs and that kind of thing. Okay, fine. That's your choice. And it's just, but I'm glad we have the choice. That's the great thing. At least we're not in this, you know, like these socialist economies to where this is the car, you know, this is the only thing that you can use because, you know, this is the government sanctioned thing. That's it's a horrible world to live in. Why do we want to live in that? And why would we want to live in a world where there's one type of money? Hey, we're going into the digital world. There's only one digital asset that you can use, one form of money that you can use. I mean, what a horrible place to be, I think. I mean, what a dystopian nightmare that we would be in at that point. Completely centralized control, no way out, rules on this, no decentralization. I mean, completely, you know, anointed by the gods of the government. Who wants to be in that situation? I mean, it's everything. You know, I am glad we have choices and we need to use those choices. We've got the ability to use those choices. Use your energy to put forth your effort to support the things that you believe in, because that's what it comes down to. People that say, oh, this is the only way, they're just saying, well, you don't have a choice. You need to think like I do. And well, that's just I mean, who wants to live in that kind of world? I mean, really, I don't. Give me choices to make mistakes. Give me choices to buy crap. I like to buy crap. I like junk, you know, so I'm going to go buy junk. Go ahead and buy it then. Who cares? See, overall, I'm a crypto head, you know, crypto head. That's what I believe in, you know, crypto head. Okay. All right. There's my, there's J-Mac just popped in. Very nice. I'll check the chat and then I'm going to check out. But live, yeah, what's up, J-Mac? Man, good to see you in here. Glad you can pop in on one of the lives. I'm just talking a little bit of crap on a Monday, threw out a little bit of information, and it comes down to the same old message that I always say. Who cares what anybody else thinks? You've got the ability to make choices. You've got the ability to opt in or opt out. Do it. Trust yourself and don't trust these clowns, you know, these people that say this is the way it needs to be, because that's their opinion. They can say whatever they want, but don't let that affect your thinking. And that's what they want to do. And see, all this is starting to unravel. It's starting to unwind. That's their choice. Fine. You choose your path. You stick to your path. I'm going to stick to my path. And everybody should stick to their own path. They should trust themselves. You should trust yourself. All right. Nothing more to say today. It's a nice day, beautiful. Enjoy it if it's nice where you are. The heat has dissipated here, which is a nice thing. We'll see. Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow, and as we get closer to the Litecoin halving or halvening, depends how you say it. And just so you know what that is nice breeze. Ugh. What the halving is, it's when the block rewards to the miners who are running the mining equipment, validating all these transactions on the Litecoin network or any blockchain, well, some blockchains, Bitcoin, Litecoin, the reward gets cut in half. So as of Wednesday sometime, the reward for each block of Litecoin that gets produced is going to get cut in half. And there's going to be less Litecoin coming onto the network. well, the miners are going to shut off their mining equipment because, you know, it's not worth it to them. Well, they are still mining Dogecoin at the same time, so they get 10,000 Dogecoin per block, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, it's kind of the best of both worlds, no matter what. All right. Hope you have a wonderful day. Love you all. Trust yourselves. Don't trust vampires. Anybody who's trying to tell you what to do, trying to steal your energy and divert your attention, they're vampires. All right? All right. Happy Monday. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for hopping in.